Irving-Giles with Gearwire.com, and today I have the V-Pick Screamer. This particular pick is a Nightglow, so it glows in the dark, and I'm extremely psyched to have this since my parents would not let me play with glow-in-the-dark toys as a child. They believed they were radioactive, and Vinny Smith from V-Pick says these seem like they're so bright in the dark that people think they're made out of nuclear waste or nuclear waste, depending on how you'd like to pronounce it. They're actually not. They're completely safe, and they're made with the maximum amount of glow-in-the-dark material you can put into a pick without affecting its tone. And pick itself, both the Nightglow and it's just the regular clear version, it's the only V-pick with a beveled edge, and that gives it a little sharper attack. You'll notice when I play an A-B between this V-pick and just a standard Fender heavy pick, that the V-pick will get a much brighter tone. It'll pronounce the highs. There's a mid-scoop on it, so I think you get a lot more clarity. Another benefit to the design of the V-pick is they're very thick picks. Most standard V-picks are 2.75 millimeters, although they do make some crazy picks that are up to 7.75 millimeters and even higher than that. So the benefit of these picks, if you're used to just a regular thin pick, a millimeter or below, might be hard to try to get used to one of these, but I find it's more comfortable, it's more natural, just because you're not pressing your thumb and your forefinger as close together as you would, and naturally when you hold your hand, you don't hold it like this. There's distance between the fingers. So this is more natural. Another thing, I found it really helps my playing technique, because if you do not hold this pick pretty level with the strings, it's not going to sound as nice as it would. You'll get kind of a muting effect if you do that, so it encourages players to have a more relaxed hand that's just in better position with the strings as you're playing it. So I'm going to test the V-pick out. I'm going to test it against this Fender pick here, and you guys can hear the tonal difference. Let's start with the V-pick then. Alright, now I'll move over to the Fender. Alright, so difference is probably pretty apparent there. You can hear the just kind of high end coming out a little more with the V-pick. I think it has a bit more of clarity to the tone. So yeah, I've actually started only using V-picks. I still got my Dunlops lying around, and sometimes when you need a really thin pick. V-Picks doesn't make anything super thin. They're starting to get into that, but until then, yeah, V-Picks for all my heavy picking needs. And speaking of heavy picking, let's get a little heavier. Let's plug into a different amp than our Vox AC15. We're gonna go to the Tech 21 and just throw on some distortion, show how this thing does with more distorted techniques, things like pinch harmonics, which this pick is designed to pretty much just exaggerate to Zakk Wyldian levels. And let's go for it. All right, and now we've got the guitar plugged into our Tech 21. It's a very gainy amp here, good for rocking out, just like the V-Pick. And just going to play the V-Pick first, play the same passage with the Fender pick. I'm going to play this passage again. And try out some power chords. And finally, we'll just mess around with some pinch harmonics. All right, I think that's enough of that. Let's go to the Fender. And the power chords again, courtesy of Jake E. Lee. And finally, mess around with some more pinch harmonics. Okay, so there you have it. I'll let you decide. Fox News style. Just the differences between the V-Pick's tone, the V-Pick Screamer, and the Fender Heavy. Thank you for watching. I'm Irving-Giles, and stay tuned to Gearwire.com for more great stuff.